Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we are really focusing in on just one piece of hardware to see what problem it's built to solve.
We're looking at the Aurora Multimedia DXW-2-W. It's an HD-based wall plate.
And the mission here seems to be all about a single critical challenge, doesn't it?
It really is. It's all about how you integrate those stubborn legacy analog video sources. You know, the old VCRs, an aging document camera, maybe a laptop that only has a VGA port into a modern digital network.
So it's a bridge, a shortcut for connecting the old and the new.
Exactly. For anyone out there curious about how that connection actually happens in the real world, this is it.
Okay, so just to help you picture it, physically, we're talking about the DXW-2W. It's a white two-gang decor-style wall plate.
Right. It looks simple. It just fits right into a standard wall box.
Very discreet, but it's doing a lot of work behind the scenes. And just for planning purposes, the price on this today is about $898.
It's definitely an investment. But what you're buying is this unique mix of, well, signal conversion and sheer distance. And that really gets us to the core of this deep dive.
The inputs.
The input versatility. Yes,
Okay,
sir?
so let's unpack that. You get two inputs on this thing. One is a standard HDMI, which can also handle DVI audio.
And the other is that classic 15-pin VGA input.
Right. But hold on, here's a question. Why would I even bother converting an old VGA signal at the wall? Wouldn't it be easier to just, buy a new laptop and skip the whole analog to digital hassle?
That's a really common question.
Yeah.
But think about large systems like in universities or courtrooms. You can't just throw out thousands of dollars of equipment that still works perfectly fine.
Ah, okay.
So this VGA input, it's the ultimate bridge. Because it's not even just for VGA. With some optional breakout cables, this one plate can accept pretty much everything.
Like what?
You're talking older formats like YPBPR, S-Video, and even standard composite video.
And the most interesting part here for me is that this tiny little plate handles all that complex analog to digital conversion before it even sends the signal anywhere.
That's the real engineering feat.
Huh.
There's a high-quality scaler built right in. And that's so important because if you're converting, say, a shaky old composite signal with a cheap scaler, you get terrible
Like
artifacts.
this messy picture.
A mess. Aurora makes sure the conversion to HDMI is clean and robust right there on the plate. It preserves the quality of the source.
And then once that signal is clean and digital, that's when it gets sent out over HDBaseT.
Exactly. And now we're talking about distance,
Yeah.
serious distance, using standard CTAC cabling.
Okay, so let's clarify how that works. I saw a couple of different numbers.
Right. So there are two modes, basically. If you're pushing for the absolute highest quality video, like a 4K resolution and a deep 48-bit color depth.
And 48-bit is a lot of color information.
It's billions of colors, crucial for high-end graphics. For that, you get a reliable distance of 330 feet over standard CHAT 5E, 6, or 7 cable.
But I'm sure I saw a spec that mentioned 600 feet.
You did. If you need to hit a screen that's, say, 600 feet away, maybe across a stadium or a huge convention center floor, there's a specific mode for that.
What's the trade-off?
You use a Cat 6A cable, and you're running at 1080p 60 Hz 24-bit. So you sacrifice a bit of that 4K bandwidth, but you get almost double the distance. It lets you solve those extreme length problems without needing another repeater in the middle.
So the video path is super flexible. How do you actually, select which source is active?
Control is also very flexible. You've got three main ways. There's automatic switching with an auto sense feature.
So it just picks the last thing you plugged in?
Pretty much.
Huh.
Or you can use the physical buttons right on the plate. They're backlit, by the way, in red, green, or blue, which you can program. Or for integrated systems, you can control it remotely with RS-232 commands.
And I bet every system integrator is breathing a sigh of relief when they hear about the power feature.
Oh, absolutely. The unit can be powered locally or remotely using power over HDBaseT POH.
And POH is critical because it means you don't need to run a separate power line or have an outlet right there in the wall box.
It simplifies the installation dramatically. The unit's also fully HDCP compliant, and it has a 40-foot IR receiver built in, so you can still use a remote to control the display at the other end.
So the tech is clearly robust. But let's talk about the paperwork side of things, the stuff that keeps planners up at night, reliability, procurement.
Right. And for anyone dealing with, say, government bids or large enterprise projects, Aurora has checked all the important boxes here.
How so?
The DXW-2W is TAA compliant, and it's made in the USA, so it's good for federal purchasing. It's also advertised as tariff-free, which makes buying it a lot easier.
And the support.
A solid 3-year warranty, plus free lifetime tech support over phone, chat, text. you name it. It really minimizes the risk for the whole system.
So to kind of wrap this all up, the Aurora DXW-2-W is this incredibly efficient all-in-one solution for some really challenging AV installations. It combines that legacy support with 4K readiness and extreme distance, all in one little wall plate.
It's a remarkable piece of engineering. It truly is. And this raises an important question for you, the person planning a system. Given that this one product can handle both ancient VGA formats and cutting-edge 4K HD-based LDIS, how might it change the total lifespan and the long-term maintenance costs of your display systems, especially those still relying on older hardware? Something to think about.